Hey guys, what's up? It's Raven, and if you know me, you know I'm a little bit obsessed with Starbucks. So this year for Ziya's first Halloween, I wanted to do a mommy-daughter Starbucks theme costume. So I am the mermaid from the Starbucks logo, and she is a caramel frappuccino with whipped cream. These are both pretty easy DIY costumes. So first I'm going to show you how I made Ziya's caramel frappuccino costume. Okay, so what better way to start a coffee themed DIY than with actual coffee? So I'm just taking a plain white long sleeve onesie and coffee dyeing it. You basically just boil the onesie in a pot of boiling coffee to get the coffee color. It's really hard to find this color of a onesie in stores, so this is just a really good way to customize it. And not only will Ziya look like a cup of coffee when she's wearing it, but she's going to smell like one too. So after that, I'm just taking some black puff paint and drawing on the signature Starbucks check boxes, and I'm making it say that she is a frappuccino with the whipped cream, and I'm writing her name on the cup as if she's the one who ordered it. So you'll see that peeking out on the back of her, but I also wanted to make a little cardboard cup holder. So for that, I'm using some brown felt, and I'm just cutting it to the size that'll fit around her stomach and using a few pieces to connect them together to be long enough to go around her stomach, plus some extra because I do want to add some pleats just to give that corrugated cardboard texture. And for that, I just used my sewing machine and added a few simple pleats. And next, I'm going to use some Velcro just to make it really easy to take on and off of her. You want this to be very easy and comfortable if it's going to be for a baby. And then I left a space in the front middle of this piece so I could put the logo. So I created my own little customized Starbucks logo on Photoshop, but of course you can just print out the regular one and glue it on. For the whipped cream hat and collar, I just used this really soft, thick white fleece fabric, and I cut it into strips that are about 5 inches in width and just as long as possible because I am going to be gathering it up to give that fluffy whipped cream texture. I saw on Pinterest a few people use tulle for this effect, but I felt like for a baby that would be kind of itchy and uncomfortable, so that's why I opted for this really soft fleece. And I just used my sewing machine to do a gathering stitch, just a really wide basting stitch, and gathered up one edge of it and folded it in half and glued it down to create this really thick fluffy strip of fabric that I could then form into a crown basically. And I measured it to fit around her head and then glued that together, and then from there I can build up the little whipped cream hat. So I just repeated that same process and created a few smaller whipped cream pieces, and also used a piece of glitter cardstock paper and just simply rolled that up to create the signature green Starbucks straw. And then I'm just stacking and layering these pieces and creating a little whipped cream swirl, and I'm just using hot glue to connect everything, and it basically just creates a hat that goes around her head. So for the caramel drizzle that they drizzle on top of the whipped cream, I'm using a piece of ribbon and I'm just swirling that around and gluing it on. And then I also sewed on a piece of elastic just to help it stay on her head. So yeah, those are basically the main steps on how I created this really soft, comfy costume for Ziya. So now for the mommies who want to match with their baby, but they don't just want to wear like a barista costume, I'm going to show you how I did the Starbucks mermaid logo costume and makeup. So for the mermaid costume, I'm going to be making a mermaid skirt, a striped shirt, and I'm going to be doing a green wig. So first, for the stripes on the shirt, I didn't want to try and paint on stripes or draw on stripes, so I actually found this elastic sequin ribbon type stuff, but it's actually stretchy. I got it at Joann's. So what I'm doing is I'm just measuring it to the size of my wrist and my arm, and I just created 8 total little bracelets, and I just hot glued them together, and they create little stretchy bracelets that I can just slide onto my arm on top of just a plain white long sleeve t-shirt, just to give that kind of effect of the tails of the mermaid in the logo. Rather than doing an actual striped tail, I thought I could just hold my arms up and give that double tail effect. So then to create the white crown, I'm using some glitter cardstock paper, and I'm just going to create a perfect star to start off with. And to do that, I printed out a picture of a star because there's no way that I could freehand it. So I'm just cutting this out on regular printer paper first so I can use it as a stencil onto the glitter paper and trace it. That way I can cut out a perfect star from the glitter paper. And then from there, I'm just using a photo as reference and just kind of freehanding the bottom portion of the crown with the little spikes. And then I'm just leaving a space where I'm going to glue the star on, and then kind of just eyeballing everything to where it's going to fit around my head, and adding an extra little strap around the back with the paper to just create a full paper crown. And if you wanted to make a quick mermaid skirt to complete your outfit, it's really easy to just trace a skirt that you already have. I found this really cool stretchy mermaid scale fabric at Joann's, and you can just create a really easy skirt by adding some elastic for the waistband and then creating a gathered skirt to create the mermaid silhouette at the bottom. But you could totally also just wear like some green leggings or something. Now onto the makeup. So I basically just used the logo as kind of inspiration, but I pretty much just made it up as I went along. First, I just laid down my base with just my regular foundation and concealer routine, just to give me a nice flawless base to start off with. And then I knew I wanted green eyebrows. I felt like that was a main point from the logo, so I'm just using this green gel liner to color in my eyebrows green. And then I felt like for the rest of the makeup, I just wanted to do all green and white shades. So I'm basically just pulling every green and white makeup product that I own, whether it be an eyeliner or a gel cream or whatever. I really didn't have that many products to work with, but I did have a green liquid liner, so I made sure to slap on a green cat eye. I think that really pulled it together. And another major key is to bring these little stripes down the sides of my nose, because that is something that the logo had. So I just added some shadow with some eyeshadow, and then I drew on these little stripes with the green eyeliner. And of course you have to do falsies because it's Halloween, so it's time to break out your falsies, if not any other day. And I'm also just adding some dimension to my lower lash line and adding some white eyeliner just to make it more dramatic. And of course you have to have green lips because that is another main point of the logo as well. So then I also felt like I needed to drench and drown myself in highlighter, because I mean, I'm a mermaid. When else am I going to be able to put on this much highlighter? So I literally just piled on every single highlighter that I could find and make it as bright and pearlescent as possible. And I also made my contour really harsh too, because like I said, I mean, it's Halloween. So for the hair, I bought this green synthetic wig from Party City, and they also had these little clip-ins and they had them in white. So I added those to the sides to kind of give that striped effect that the logo has. I wish I would have been able to wave the hair, but since it was synthetic, obviously you can't use heat on it. But yeah, I think when you put everything together, it still gives a pretty cool overall effect. And that's pretty much it. It's a really easy costume. So yeah, you guys, hopefully you liked this video. Hopefully you liked this costume idea. I mean, I didn't make it up. I saw it on Pinterest and a whole bunch of different places, but I kind of just put my own little spin on it and made it work for me and Ziya. So hopefully you guys like it. I think Ziya looks so freaking cute in her little caramel Frappuccino costume, and she thought it was pretty fun. She thought the hat was so funny, and she had a lot of fun wearing it when we were doing the video shoot. So even though she's not old enough to go trick-or-treating, she's still gonna be super cute this Halloween, and we can match. So yeah, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye. Ziya! Hey girl. Okay.
Frappuccino. You're a sweet caramel Frappuccino.